Hey, it's Greg here with MaritimeGardening.com, and I thought I'd do a short video today talking about one of my most interesting finds of 2024, and that's this variety of Swiss chard called Fire Fresh Swiss Chard. How is it unique? I mean, I've tried giant Ford hook, I've tried one called, I think, Silverado, and of course the sort of very popular heirloom Lucillus. They're all great, but I think I'm going to make this my new go-to Swiss chard. I mean, as gardeners, we're inclined to stick with things that we like, that are reliable. But if you're like me, you also like trying new things every year. The great thing about having a YouTube channel is that I can experiment and try things and show you the results. And so you don't have to bear the risks of that experimentation. And one of my great finds this year was this Fire Fresh Swiss Chard. For two reasons, oh, more than two. So let me list them all here. Number one, I find most Swiss chard doesn't taste good until after. I mean, it's edible and tastes okay, but most Swiss chard tastes much better after a few frosts. This one, and is not that great during the summer. This was a go-to green during the summer. Of course, the frosts have made it better, but it was very good during the summer, like a beet green, where beet greens, you don't harvest beet greens after a frost, you harvest them right in June or July. So they have that advantage. They're also a very sweet green, so there's that. The other thing is that they're much more frost and cold resistant green as Swiss chard goes. We've had a couple really hard frosts. I mean, I've got a goldfish pond over there with a couple inches of ice. It's been almost down to the double digits, that's Celsius. Negative double digits for freezing, that's a hard freeze. And a lot of other types of Swiss chard, the foliage is just kind of liquefied. It just can't handle that kind of temperature. But I mean, here's a leaf from the Lucillus, or sorry, this Fire Fresh. This was frozen solid a couple hours ago, right? Now it's, sort of midday, and it's thawed out, and it hasn't just collapsed. It's still alive. It's handling being frozen and thawed. So a lot of Swiss chards can handle a frost or a light frost, but being frozen solid and then thawed out. Kale can do that. Some greens can do that. I don't find too many Swiss chards can do that. This one can. Also the color. I mean, I'm showing you the color now. This is the color they have now. During the summer, it was more of a green foliage with a red stem and red veins. As it's gotten colder, I found they've gotten more purple in nature. Not exactly sure what that is, but they taste really good. So you've got a kind of relatively cold, hardy green. And then finally, and of course, I guess another thing was that these were very pest resistant. I didn't really have any problems. I mean, I've got flea beetles in my garden. I got slugs. I got snails, right? Those are the things that attack my greens in my garden for the most part, except for the things that sort of a white butterfly that leaves caterpillars on kale and other brassicas. But these were not bothered by any of those things, and I've got them everywhere. Anything that's bothered by snails, I got problems in my garden. These were not bothered by any of that. So they're that. They're very pest resistant, really no pest problems. Great tasting, pest resistant, handles the cold. I mean, I planted these in April and I'm still harvesting them, and it's December. That's a great plant. You're getting a lot out of it. But one final great advantage is that these things put on a huge, some of them anyway, if you get good sun and good growing conditions, they put on a huge root. So the ground's a bit frozen right now. It's almost like an inch frozen. I'm hoping it'll thaw out later in the week. I got to get some of these out. But let me just show you what the root looks like. This is the root. I had to sort of pickaxe this out of the ground. But so see if I cut away some of this. It's a beet. I mean, Swiss chard and beets are related, but most Swiss chard will not give you a nice, harvestable beet like this. And we ate some for supper the other night, just from these Swiss chard. just these. And they're really good. They're not a dark purple, kind of a light purple. What would you call that? I don't know my colors. Fuchsia? I don't know my colors. I'm not even going to pretend. A kind of light purple. That's right, light, dark. Light blue, dark blue, light purple, light, that sort of thing. Anyway, a nice light purple, sweet tasting beet green. Now, the part of not the actual beet, right? So this is a Swiss chard. It's called a Swiss chard, but the greens are sweeter than most Swiss chards. And it gives you this in addition, right? Late in the season. That's when I'm harvesting them now, right? I'm hoping the ground thaws out. It's supposed to get up to 10 degrees Celsius in a few days. Hopefully I can get them out then and things will thaw out. Now, if you look at the texture of this, you'll notice that from here up it's one, and from here down it's different. So I found the part of the beet root that's above in this area here can be a bit more fibrous than the part below. But generally speaking, it's a good tasting, sweet, edible beet you get out of a Swiss chard garden. So you get greens from like July until November, December, depending on how cold it is where you live. And then when the plant's done, you get beets as a result as well. So this is a fantastic crop to have in your garden. So that's my interesting find for 2024. New interesting vegetable. The winner for this year, one of the things anyway I was most impressed with was a Fire Fresh Swiss Chard. It's going to be a long time before I try a new Swiss Chard now because I'm so pleased with this. All right, so now I got to get these out of the ground somehow and get them in and get them on the table. And some of these roots were even larger, right? Some are about 2 inches in diameter. Or 3 inches in diameter. This one's 2 inches in diameter, but I got some that are 3 inches in diameter. So they're all over the place, but they're a good sized beet. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Check out my podcast at maritimegardening.com. Check out my weekly article at maritimegardening.substack.com. And check out my outdoors channel at Outdoors on the Cheap. That's on YouTube. Otherwise, until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.